Hello everyone, welcome back to Andrina's Creations. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to customize your own t-shirts. You're going to see how easy it is to customize them, and all you need is your printer, and if you have a cutting machine you can use a cutting machine, but if you don't have to, and your iron-on paper. All right, so let's get started. Okay, for your materials, you're going to need your shirts. I recommend using cotton shirts. I am going to be doing 4 t-shirts. You're going to be needing your lint roller, measuring tape, or a ruler. If you don't have to have this ruler. I have this because I usually cut fabric, but any measuring tape, even from the Dollar Tree. You're going to be needing iron-on paper. I know a lot of people get confused that do you always need to do shirts with sublimation. I personally don't do sublimation yet. This is the way I've been doing my shirts for many years. And for light t-shirts, I like Jet Pro Soft Stretch. I get it from Amazon. And for dark t-shirts, I use 3G Jet Opaque. I have another video doing the same thing on t-shirts. And I'll be using 11 by 17 paper for the mom and the dad. And I'll be using the regular 8 by 11 paper for the brother and the baby. Now, a lot of people I know that don't have wide format printer. I highly recommend one if you want to start doing bigger shirts like size large and extra large, because the bigger paper can cover more of the surface of your t-shirt. And I'll be using HTV. That means heat transfer vinyl. The brand that I like to use is Sizer Easy Weed, Siser Easy Weed, or just the Sizer brand for the glitter. But that's the vinyl that I like to use. If you don't have a cutting machine, don't worry. You don't have to do this. When I first started 10 years ago, I would literally just print the name and the age with the iron-on paper until I invested in a cutting machine. So don't think that you still can't do this because you don't own a cutting machine and you can't use vinyl. I'm going to be using my Workforce 7720. This is an inkjet printer. I know also a lot of people get confused with these printers because everyone's converting them to sublimation. But these printers are originally inkjet printers, meaning that you use pigmented ink. That's another thing that also people get confused, saying, do I need to convert my printer to pigment ink? No, you don't. The original cartridges that come with this printer, which when you first buy your printer is these ink. These are pigmented ink. You don't need to convert it. Now, the way I save money in ink, I buy my ink from Cobra Ink. That means I'm buying third-party ink, and I use refillable cartridges, and my ink lasts for a very long time, and I only pay like around $27 every 2 months. If you want a separate video on how I use my refillable cartridges and stuff like that, feel free to comment down below and I can do that. And then also you're going to need your heat press. So this is a 15 by 15 heat press. When I first started, like I said, many years ago, I actually got my first heat press 5 years ago. This one is going to go on 6 years old now. And that one is 15 by 15. If you're going to invest in a heat press, please don't go any smaller than 15 by 15 because it's just not worth it. Okay, so I recommend for all new crafters, or if you want to start a t-shirt business, don't go smaller than 15 by 15. Now this one is a 16 by 24. I just got this one last year, and it's great for your bigger t-shirts. But listen, you don't need to go all the way, go big or go home with this because these are expensive. Start with a 15 by 15, and the only thing you're going to need to do is press your shirts into pieces. Like press one side first and press the other side. Like I said, 15 by 15, no smaller than a 15 by 15, okay? And that's it. And then your pair of scissors to cut your iron on, and let's get started. Okay, your next step is you need to measure your t-shirts. This is why I said get a ruler or a measuring tape. A lot of people in Facebook groups will ask, like, what design measurements do I need for a medium shirt, large shirt, extra large shirt? We exactly cannot give you measurements because we don't know what design you're putting on. You could just be putting a logo. You could just be putting a name. You could be putting a full-blown design. So honestly, what I highly recommend is measuring. Because if it's just going to be a name, it could easily go here. And I don't know how big or small you want your name. If you just want to be a full design, we don't know what measurement to give you. So this is why I say, just measure your t-shirt, okay? So you're going to measure your width and you're going to measure the height. And whatever you think looks good for you, because again, there's no right or wrong. Remember, you are your designer, you're your own, business owner. So you decide how you want your stuff to look. After you measure, remember that's going to be a rectangle, and that rectangle is the measurements that you're going to use for the software that you are using. All right. So I measured all my t-shirts, and now I'm going to start designing. You can use any software of your choice. I'll be using Silhouette Studio because that's personally what I like to use. You can use whatever of your choice. The first thing you need to do is get your images, whatever images you want to use. All you have to do is go to Google, and you're going to type whatever image you want and then put PNG after it, meaning PNG, it is a transparent background image. When you click on an image, you should see the gray and white squares in the back. That means it is a transparent background. You have to right click and save this image to your computer. Once you save it, you're going to go into Silhouette, go to File, go to Merge, and then you're going to look for wherever you save your image and click on OK. Once you do that, you're going to have all your images in here. Remember, I told you guys to measure your shirts. Depending on the measurements you took, you're going to go on your left and you're going to click on the shapes. You're going to click on the rectangle. Make any size rectangle on your screen. I'm actually going to color it so y'all can see it. And then right here on the top, it has the width and the height. So you're just going to type the number of the width that you needed. And the height that you needed. After here, you're going to start designing. Making sure that you stay inside of your rectangle. If you want to type anything, all you have to do is go to the A on your left, click anywhere on your screen, type whatever you would like, click anywhere on your screen. I'm going to color this as well. And then go to the A on your right and click a font. This is copper black. And then while my number 1 is selected, no, let me change that. I'm actually going to click Berlin Sands. While my number 1 is selected, let me zoom in. I'm going to click on the offset panel on my right. It is the double star. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to click where it says offset. And then there says a distance where your offset is. It says distance. Play with the distance that you want your offset to be. While I'm satisfied with that offset, I will go to my fill panel. It looks like a paint palette on your right. Click on a color that you would like. And then go to your outline panels right under your paint palette. And click on no color. The no color is the one that has like lines across it. And that's no color. And then you're going to go back to your A on your left and type a word that you would like. I'm gonna color this. Take off the outline color, go to my A, and here I'm gonna click copper black. While the word is selected, I'm going to go to offset. It's the double star. Click on offset. Go to paint palette. Click on a color. Go to the outline color and click on no color. It doesn't even really matter what color you pick here if you're cutting out with vinyl. Now, if you don't have a cutting machine, you can still print this out of iron-on paper and iron it on to your clothes. Like that, you still could be able to do this stuff and you don't need a cutting machine. Okay? All right, I'm just going to design one and then I'm going to explain everything. If you are using light iron-on, you need to make sure you flip this to mirror. It means flip horizontally. So I'm going to group this image. I'm going to have my mouse around here. I'm going to left click my mouse and I'm going to drag my mouse until I have everything selected. You're gonna know everything selected because everything has like rectangles around with the little white squares. I'm going to right click and click on group. Then I'm gonna right click and flip horizontally. And this is how you need to print it. If you are also cutting this out of vinyl, HTV vinyl, you need to do the same thing to the words. Select them both and flip horizontal. Right click, flip horizontally. Also, you need to make sure you set up your paper size. Sorry, I left that offset behind. So as you can see, my name is not grouped. So I'm going to move the purple and I'm going to group my offset together. If you go to your right, the first icon is a paper. Right there on your paper, I am going to be printing the mom image and the dad image in 11 by 17 paper because I have a wide format printer and I want a bigger image on their shirts. So because I am using 11 by 17 paper, where it says the media size, well, my cutting mat, I'm going to put it on 12 by 24, even though I'm going to cut this by hand. Or if you're using bigger paper, like 13 by 19, you automatically have to, where it says machine and cutting mat, put none. The reason why you're going to have to put none is because it's going to say, well, how are you cutting a 13 by 19 paper when the machine is only 12 inches wide? I have the cameo for. So where it says machine, you will click on none and then cutting mat on none if you're using bigger paper like 12 inches or wider. I am going to be using 11 by 17. Where it says media size, I'm still in the paper icon, remember that. Where it says width, I'm going to type 11 and enter. And where it says height, I'm going to type 17 and enter. And I am going to rotate this image and I'm going to print it on 11 by 17 paper. And I will do the same thing for all the images, right? Now, as you saw in the beginning of the video, I also did some tights. Those tights, the images, I'm going to print on 3G opaque, meaning that is for dark transfer paper. Those images, you do not need to mirror. You're going to leave it exactly how they are. And remember to size them the size that you need for wherever you're putting them on. Okay, so mines are sized to 2 by 5 by 2 by 5 because it's going on a small pair of tights. I'm not going to print these on 11 by 17 paper. I'm going to print these on 8 by 11. So where it says media size, I'm going to change it to 8 by 11 and make all of these fit. Again, I am going to cut this by hand. But if you want to use your cutting machine, you got to turn on your registration marks. Again, on the paper size, on the paper icon, the page setup, go to your third selection and turn on, the machine, I got to put that I'm going to be using a cameo. Sorry, because remember we put none. And the mat, we're going to be using 12 by 12 mat. Now go to your third option and turn on your registration marks. And make sure it says show print border and show cut border. When you click where it says show cut border, you have those red outlines, meaning everything that's inside of those red lines, that's where your machine is going to cut. All right. Your paper size that you have here on your media size needs to match when you go print. It needs to match 3 times. Don't forget that. It needs to match here in your page setup. When you click on the printer icon right here, you're going to click on the printer icon. You're going to click on print. And where it says preferences, you need to also put what paper size you are using, if 11 by 17 or 13 by 19 and stuff like that. And then I have a Workforce 7720, and the paper type that I like to print is Premium Presentation Paper Matte. I will click on OK and print. All right. For your vinyl, I'm going to turn off the registration marks. More than likely, you are going to probably be using 12 by 12 vinyl. So right here on width, I'm going to put 12. And on my height, I'm going to put 12. You're going to place your vinyl. Or I also have 12 by 15 vinyl, and then it will fit the long way. And if you have more pink pieces that you're going to be cutting out with vinyl, put all your pieces on your mat. Then you're going to click on send right here. When you click, oh, I got to turn on my machine. You're going to see that this is like, it's going to be selected like cut to edge. So make sure your name is selected and click where it says cut. So it's not cut to edge, it's regular cut. The settings that I like to cut my vinyl is blade of 3, force of 10, speed of 6. So if you want to write that down so you know this is the best setting that I like to use for my vinyl. It doesn't even matter what you pick right here of the selection, because no matter what you pick, you can always change your settings and leave it to your own settings. Like right now, I have this set and I named it my vinyl because I know that's the settings that I like to use. Again, that is a blade of 3, force of 10, speed of 6. Load your vinyl to, put your vinyl upside down, shiny side down on your mat. Load it to your machine and cut it. But like I said before, if you do not have a cutting machine, guys, you can easily just design something and print it out. So basically, let's say this image for the little girl's shirt. I will do that. And this is an offset that I'm going to put. And I'm going to send it to the back so the wings are in the front. So all I did here, like if I bring it back to the front, I'm just going to select them both and send to the back so the wings are in the front. Going to go to my outline panel and remove the outline. I will group this together. Make sure you put the rectangle the size that you need it for the baby shirt. If you're going to be using light iron-on paper, click on the image, right-click, and flip horizontally. Don't forget to set up your paper size, and you're going to print this out on iron-on paper, and that's it. You have the name, you have the age, and you have everything. You didn't need vinyl. I think I didn't say this at the beginning. You can download the basic edition for free in Silhouette. I have a whole tutorial on how to download Silhouette for free. You don't need a cutting machine to use the software. I do use business edition because I have all the tools that you need in here. And you can also use business edition without owning a machine. Click down in the description box. I have a link there where you can get business edition cheaper. Originally it's $100, but usually in swing design they usually have it cheaper, like $60, $50, $40, and it is a one-time payment. You gotta first download Basic Edition. Then when you download the software, you're gonna come in here and put in your business license key, the one that they're gonna email you if you do purchase Business Edition. And guys, this is all. This is how you design your shirts. Now I do recommend, this is my personal preference. If you are going to be doing adult shirts, more than likely you are going to need a wide format printer, because you don't want tiny images on a large shirt, medium shirt, extra large, 3X. Like, it's so big that you can't go so big on an 8 by 11 piece of paper. Eventually you are going to need 11 by 17 paper, 13 by 19. All right, guys, so I hope this helped. And now let's go print. Once everything is printed, so here I have the dad, here I have the mom, and here I have the brother and the child, the birthday girl. So now all you have to do is cut. So this one is for light. The good thing about light transfer paper is that you don't need to cut exactly all around. Now, it's the difference between the dark one, because the dark one, when you iron it, you will see any white you leave behind. But this is more forgiving for the light t-shirts. So all you have to do is try to go as close as the image all around with a pair of scissors. Now, if you have a cutting machine, use your print and cut feature. But because I am doing bigger ones like this, I'm just going to go straight and cut by hand. Don't forget to put your vinyl shiny side down. See, shiny, that's matte. Has to be shiny side down on your mat before you load it to your cutting machine. Once you cut out your vinyl, all you gotta do is pull out all the extra off that you don't need. And then I got these tools from Harbor Freight, or you can use an x-acto knife, you can use a needle, use a weeding tool that your machine comes with. You could use anything. Just pull off everything that you don't need. I'm only going to record one shirt because I'm in a rush. I have to package this order, but it's the same thing for all shirts. First thing you need to do is get a lint roller and take out all the lint that your t-shirt is going to have or might have. And then you need to heat press just for 2 to 3 seconds your garment to take out the moisture that it might have. Do not skip this step of just heat pressing it for a couple of seconds. I do have a Teflon sheet on top of my heat press. So like I said, just for a couple of seconds. And then add your image and the offset of the name if you did it offset. Remember that your image has to go upside down. So I'm just positioning everything so I can make sure where everything's going. And then after I know where everything's going, I'm just gonna heat press first the image. And again, just for a couple of seconds, because all you need to do is to tack this down. Then you're going to put your offset. Just for a couple of seconds. Remove the plastic film and add the top layer of your name. just for a couple of seconds to take off that film. You gotta let this cool down before you peel it off. Do not peel it while it's hot. Remember, when it's cool, start peeling. After I peel it, I like to go back and heat press it just for like 3 seconds, or like 3 to 4 seconds, not so much. And it's just because, remember, this is called Jet Pro Soft Stretch, the iron-on paper. So as soon as I press it for like 3 to 4 seconds, I hurry up and stretch the onesie, and you're gonna see, because right now it's kind of like stiff. So I will cover it with the parchment paper, and sometimes even your iron-on comes with that. And then I stretch it so it won't be so stiff. I want to give you a small tip. I'm going to be using the 15 by 15 for the bigger shirts, so you can see that you can still do it with this heat press. All you have to do is fold your shirt in half. And then press it just a little bit so you can have a crease right in the middle. Once you have that crease in the middle, then you could fold your vinyl in the middle. I'll show you. And then you align that middle to the middle of the shirt. And then you press. All right, so I'm also doing the tights like I told you before when I was recording the for the design. Now, because this is dark, I'll be using the dark transfer paper. Remember, you do not mirror your image. You print it just like that from the computer. Do not mirror it, okay? Okay, so this is the 3G opaque. As you can see, the 3G is there. Now, because we did not mirror this, you need to take off the backing. So this one is a little bit different than the light. You gotta take off the backing first. And you will place this where you want it to go. And place your images everywhere. All right, here is the final product of the shirt and the tights. Everything's done. This is how everything turned out. Go and watch the prior videos to this one. I showed you guys how to do the ruffle anklet, and I also showed you how to do the tutu, and now you know how to do the shirt. So you can actually do a whole outfit and yourself a shirt, and the dad, whoever, the grandma, the grandpa, the uncles, aunts, whatever. So you got this. Remember, this is so easy. Don't have no fear. I know a lot of people is always intimidated to try new things. Look at the glitter. I hope the camera could pick up that glitter. I love it. Sorry if y'all hear my cat running in the back. So everything came out super nice. If you give this a try, please feel free to join my crafting group, Andrina's Creations Crafting Lounge, and show me all your stuff that you have made. I would love to see all your products. Or if you're just trying it for your own family, your granddaughter, your nieces, and stuff like that. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Andrina's Creations. Also, if you want to order anything from me, feel free to message me at Andrina's Creations on Facebook or Instagram. Or if you don't have no social media, feel free to email me at andrenascreations@yahoo.com. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. All right, guys. If you have any comments, please comment down below, and don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. I hope everyone's having a blessed day. Bye-bye.